Plookster, once again,
Morning.
good. Welcome back to the fucking shit. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Shizbang goes boom.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So, right off the bat, that trial, man. Holy shit, eh?
Wow. Yeah.
What a crazy twist that took.
It is. I didn't expect guilty on 3 counts. I thought if they were going to find him guilty, they would have chose 1. But
I thought it was.
you know,
I thought it was gonna take them a while to reach their verdict. I didn't think it was gonna be only like 1 or 2 days.
well, yeah, that was about the time that it took for when I was on a homicide jury for us to go through each and every charge. First thing we did was elect a foreman, and then he said, quickly, let's just take a vote and see where we're at.
So
And
right away, you guys elected a jury foreman who's kind of like gonna run the jury process.
yeah, yeah. And I didn't want to do it, so
I don't think I would want to.
no. It seems to me they took their time going through each charge individually on each point that they had to hit to find guilty, and by what they heard and what they saw, they came to the decision they did. So, we weren't in that jury room. We don't know what was discussed, what needed clarification to some of the jury members. It at least was not a hung jury. We got an answer out of these folks.
So you switched over from talking about the jury you were on to the jury for the Chauvin trial.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you were on jury for a homicide case, huh?
Yes.
How long ago was that?
Oh gosh, it's been 15 years ago or so, probably.
15?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, and it was about a 10-day trial, and then we deliberated for took us about a day and a half. Our first vote, a few votes, kept coming up hung. We had 2 or 3 that were on one side and the rest on the other. We sent a note to the judge saying, sorry, we're hung. He said, sorry, I'm not taking that shit. You guys stay in there until you can tell me one way or the other.
Okay. And so, before I ask any questions, can I ask questions about it, or is it something that you're not supposed to talk about?
I think I can talk about it, sure. I mean,
alright. So, you watched some of the trial, didn't you? I know you did.
you did, yes.
And so, first, you did mention some things that were similar. What were similar and different in the way the jury or the whole court process went for the homicide case or the murder case? You get what I'm saying? What were the differences?
I don't think it was indifferent, really, in any way. In our court case too, the district attorney talked too much.
Oh, really?
He kept going over the same things over and over and over, and we were all like, all right, we get it. Shut the fuck up. Let's move on.
Taking up our time.
Exactly. We didn't want to be there for 2 weeks, but we were.
Yeah, every day almost.
Yeah, it's kind of infuriating as a juror. You just want let's get the facts and move along. Let's not fucking go over this over and over and over 13 times. We get your point.
So was the case big profile for your area, covered in the news?
It was covered in the news. Basically because it was captured on closed circuit TV, so there was video of
The
the
incident.
incident happening,
I see.
or part of the incident, anyways.
Dang. So back they had closed circuit TVs. They caught it on. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So
Yeah, it was a security places, security cameras.
Oh,
They
well,
caught it.
well, damn. I guess if you're gonna get caught for doing some shit at a security place with security cameras, not the best place.
Yeah, no.
Were you guys? Did the people in the jury? Were they supposed to not watch the news and shit?
Oh yeah, we were told to stay away from all that. We weren't sequestered. We were able to go home every night. But we were told, don't look at any news of this.
And do you think the jury tried their best to not do that?
Some of us.
And some of you
And
definitely didn't.
Yeah, definitely some did, and but the media had it totally wrong. I mean, the avenue the media was going down was not what the conversations in the jury room were. They were focused on totally different things.
Oh, so the media back then is just like the media it is now.
I guess you could say that, yes.
Just totally making up their own narrative however they want to roll with it, and fully just saying how they want to say shit, not saying what is really happening.
Yeah, they didn't look into the details and minutia of the whole thing, which there was quite a bit of.
Well, the one thing that about media that's definitely not a conspiracy is that they're trying to get views and get eyeballs on their shit so they can make money. So they probably take the story that for them is going to get the most viewers and make that the narrative. Or
I think they were trying to sensationalize, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Or that, or I don't know, there's a actual person telling them to spin it a certain way or not. But if they did have that guy needs to be sent to the gulag.
What really sucked about being on that jury was I tried to get off of it. When they were interviewing me with the two lawyers and the judge for placement, I told them, hey, listen, my best friend is a deputy district attorney that does murders in another county here in the state. And I was sure that would get me thrown off, but neither did. And then I said, well, wait, my company does business with both the defendant and the accuser's companies. They said, well, it's a small town.
Oh, wow.
And I got seated anyways, even for two things I figured were going to be disqualifiers. But turns out the only way to get disqualified for sure was in the beginning when they first started the jury pool, and they asked, is there anybody in here has a religious objection to sitting on a jury? And two or three people raised their hand, and the only question they were asked was, what's your juror number? You're excused. Didn't ask them, what religion are you? What's your objection? No, nothing. It was just, boom, they were gone. Then the rest of us were fish in a pond.
No way. I didn't know that that was even really a thing. I didn't know sitting against a jury is blasphemous against your religion or whatever.
I guess you could make it that way real quick if you wanted to.
I mean, true. I mean, if you really didn't want to go do jury duty and you're going to lie, or maybe you're super religious and it's blasphemy to be sitting on jury duty, that's your way out.
It is. It's the only clear way I saw out in hindsight, is to take that religious exception.
All right, real quick. I want to ask you about your lawyer friend, but before that, about the trial you're on, the jury. What happened? What was the stabbing?
No, it was a vehicular homicide.
Oh shit! With clear intent.
And no intent. Uh, the guy was driving a Pantera. Do you know what a Pantera is?
Old school fast car, right?
Yeah, it is. It has a Ford 302 engine in it. It is extremely lightweight. It kind of looks like, a Ferrari or something like that. Um,
I'm
very
looking at it.
very short exhaust on it, so it's extremely loud.
Damn, it looks cool as shit.
Nice car. I mean, I remember a guy in downtown Portland pulling up next to me in my 68 Mustang when I was probably 16, 17 years old, and wanted me to race me off the line, and that guy left me in the dirt in 200 feet. Easy.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the vehicle went out of control and rolled backwards into a Ford Thunderbird, killing the passenger. So
it rolled backwards?
Yeah, it spun out of control.
Oh, got you. So he was going way too fast.
Well, see, now that's the question.
Okay.
Because the prosecution was trying to tell us the vehicle went out of control because of speed. And this happened on a corner or a slight, it was a left turn that was banked down to the inside. Mm-hmm. And, if you're going too fast, the car ended up backwards on the inside, the corner, down below, traveling backwards. Now, if logic tells you if he's going too fast and can't make the corner, he's going to go off the right-hand side of the road as the road turns to the left. Yeah. That isn't what happened. The car, when it was in the apex of that corner, somehow spun around, slid down to the bottom, then rolled backwards into Thunderbird.
So many cool cars in this fucking story, but continue.
So, our question was, what made that car go out of control? And it was plain, it was not speed, because excessive speed would have sent that car off the right-hand side of the road.
So
for sure,
it could have been weather-related or mechanical related.
Yeah, and that's, we had the top engineer from Ford that was in charge of the Pantera division was an expert witness. And this guy was very technical about that vehicle. Unfortunately for them, there was 3 or 4 of us that are very technical automotive guys on the jury. So they weren't able to fool us. What nobody knew for several months, apparently, after the crash, the Pantera had been impounded, was sitting in a wrecking yard on blocks, and somebody went back to weigh the vehicle for a second time. And when they pulled the car up, they noticed, hey, who pulled the emergency brake? It's in the on position. And they went back to the original crash scene photos. When you look, sure enough, the emergency handle was up. So, have you ever, been driving down the road and want to do a cookie? What do?
Yeah, I hit the e-brake.
You yank on the e-brake and it'll spin you around. So it became very clear to us what caused that car to spin and go out of control.
So the dude was trying to do a fucking donut in the middle of a turn?
Well, he blanks out. He says, I don't remember. I don't know who pulled it. And if you can see the interior of a Pantera, that emergency brake lever is on the passenger side of the console. You have to reach over the console, over to the passenger side.
Oh, I do see.
Pull it.
Weird. What a weird spot for that to be.
Right? It is. And
Was
so
there a
our question
passenger in the
was,
car?
yeah, the passenger's the one that died. So our question was, who pulled the e-brake?
I thought you said
And
the I thought you said the guy in the passenger at Thunderbird died.
no. There was only a driver in the Thunderbird, and it was the passenger in the right rear of the Pantera impacted the left front of the Thunderbird, but the lady in the Thunderbird wasn't injured,
Okay,
amazingly.
and it was the passenger of the Pantera who died. Got you. And you so
Yeah.
okay. I see what you're saying here. I think I'm putting it together. But continue on.
So it boiled down to who pulled the handle. Whoever pulled the handle caused the accident and is at fault. And they did check it for prints. There was no prints on the emergency brake handle.
Well, if you got a wife
And
or a girlfriend sitting there with a purse, with a strap on it, and she goes to reach in her purse for makeup, lifts that purse a couple inches, hits that emergency brake by accident, and then you died.
yeah, so the Ford engineer, Pantera engineer, was telling us that that e-brake didn't work, and you can tell because, and he tried to do rust marks and wear marks on the hook underneath the vehicle that brake lever hooks to energize the calipers, and yet he says that the e-brake didn't work, but both rear calipers were energized, meaning they were pulled on.
They were
So
what? Meaning what?
they were energized. They
Me-
were they were
you
they
just
were in the closed position.
okay.
They were pinching on the rotors.
Okay.
So it clearly seemed to us to be a lie. He's telling us it was the impact that caused the calipers to be charged, and that might make sense for the one that took the collision damage, the right rear, but they were both energized, and they were both energized at the same pressure. So
So
that really only comes from that e-brake being pulled,
yeah.
or your foot on the brake. But they release when you take your foot off the brake. So it just came down to us that the e-brake is the reason the car went out of control. There was no fingerprints. It's reasonable to doubt that the driver was solely one that pulled that brake. Passenger may have done it and caused the vehicle to go out of control.
Damn. So the passenger pulled the fucking handle, huh?
Maybe.
Well, the jury. So as a jury, you guys found that dude not guilty or guilty for manslaughter. What was the charges he was brought up on?
Vehicular homicide. And there was a manslaughter also, I believe, and we found him not guilty on both charges.
But he probably would have been guilty for would he been guilty for like reckless driving or something like that or no? Because it was just an accident.
It was just an accident, and as much as people want to say, "Oh, that car sounded like it was going fast," well, yeah, it sounds like it's going fast when it's fucking sitting there at idle.
Okay, I got you.
Um,
Dang, what a crazy time that he
yeah,
did.
and you really don't feel the emotions. I mean, when the verdict gets read, it just washes over the whole courtroom, and I hope to not be on a jury like that again. But I'll serve if they ask.
That's good. That's good. That's good. But hey, you looked at the evidence. Everybody, the entire jury found the dude not guilty. Did not go to prison. So,
Oh,
um,
and it was solely because there was reasonable doubt that it was solely the driver's fault.
and I bet
If
the engineer, uh, you know, he should have taken something from that too. Like maybe we shouldn't put the e-brake on the passenger side.
Well, that vehicle is no longer in production, but yeah, that was a stupid ass place to put a fucking e-brake for sure.
Yeah, the top Ford engineer's like, oh shit, this e-brake just fucked on our car. Of course, it's not his fault.
No, well, he
Um,
designed the damn thing, but
so your lawyer buddy, he's been through some
yeah.
crazy cases, hasn't he?
Oh my gosh, more, crazier than I can actually tell you. But yeah,
Well, can
um,
we talk about some of them or no?
sure. We can talk in generalities. I mean,
Yes, generalities, without giving up any identifying information, which I won't ask. You know, I just want to know
yeah,
about the stories.
there's well, I'll say this. It led me to research one case, um, three-strike offender, violent rapist, put in state prison for life for violent rapes.
What was his name? Juan what?
Oh, I forget the guy's name.
Okay.
I'd have to Google and try to
Doesn't
find that
matter.
case
We'll
again.
pass it.
But three-strike offender sees an opportunity and murders a prison guard in the chapel.
Okay. Wow.
But what do you do to a three-strike, never going to be released guy that commits a murder?
Death row.
Yep. Yep. Except, get this. A. Inslee, our governor, decided on his own and announced the world via media, I am no longer going to commence with any death penalty cases ever again.
Wow.
He did not call, there was at the time 6 or 7 death row inmates in the state of Washington. And he did not reach out to the victim families to say, I'm sorry, but here's what I'm going to be doing. He just announced it, and they found out their justice was thrown out the window in the nightly news.
Wow. That's so stupid.
So, yeah, the three-strike violent offender that kills a prison guard gets no punishment now.
And now other guards have to like basically put their lives at risk when they go to work just because of this crazy guy.
Yeah.
No, that's not great. Especially you said he was in prison for life for committing so many violent crimes. That's just not.
Violent rapes.
Yeah, America isn't a
Violent
place
crimes.
for that.
It was, he's a horrible individual.
Yeah, America isn't a place to let people like that around, you know.
So, in discussing that case that I researched with my friend, and also, there's a lot of district attorneys, elected officials that got elected this last cycle, funded by a particular person, were put in place just to do things like they're doing in Portland. The whole no bail thing.
Are you talking about when they just like basically arrest the Antifa and then just release them right away without tickets, no bail?
Yeah, catch and release, and it's not just for Antifa. I mean, it's for all kinds of. And he and I were kind of zeroing in on, let's say, domestic violence. Which is a horrible plague. And these guys can beat up their girls. The girls call the cops. They take the guy away, and then immediately release him. which
Wow.
puts her in danger. But um, he had a very, very interesting twist that I think should be investigated. My question was, well, how do we stop this? Because it's putting these people at risk when their abuser is immediately released. And he said quite often what you'll see is, their trial date comes 6 months later after their arrest. And by that time, they've reconciled with beat partner, and she doesn't want to press charges, and she's changed his mind because he hasn't beat her up for 3 or 4 months now, and frustrates the attorneys that are trying to prosecute, is they just are trying to protect victim.
Right.
The victim doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, there are
And
many such cases.
so I asked, how do we fix that? And uh, he said speedy trial. And I said, but don't we have speedy trial now? He said, no. What I mean is, fine. They arrested you. You're here in jail. We've got the victim right here. Hey, let's run court 24/7. Your court date is in 24 hours.
Oh.
And instead of waiting 6 months, let's get it on.
See, that's smart and good because after a couple months, they're like, "Oh, he didn't mean it. He's trying to get his life together." Blah blah blah. Gets off and then just kills her, and then that's it.
Eats her again, or yeah, exactly. It happens over and over and over. And so a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, oh man, say they want to burn the system down. Okay, let's burn it down and build it back on 24/7 court and speedy trials.
24/7 court though, you can't expect a random victim to show up to court at 3:30 a.m. You know.
True. True. I mean, that would have to be investigated some, but I think he's on the right track.
Maybe like 9 to 9. 12
I,
hours.
I think they should get it on. I think that's a great. You want to burn it down and build it back up? Let's do it that way. Let's do it on speedy trial.
What's up with all the weirdos in Portland that want to burn everything down?
Jeez, I don't know. They went at it again in Portland last night. A couple of arrests. One cop was attacked. I don't know if you've seen those, but a bicycle cop was walking down the sidewalk. I got in his way. He pushed the guy out of the way, and another guy stepped up and old cocked him right in the head, knocked him down.
Jesus.
And then it was on. The cops were on top of that guy and just pummeling him to submission.
Damn. Well, dude, don't be attacking a cop. How stupid are you?
Right? Well, he got what he deserved, and thank goodness the Multnomah County District Attorney is kind of woken up now and sees the light that, oh God, I have to actually prosecute some of these and not keep sending the case back to the police.
Yeah, they better prosecute that guy, but I mean, how many times do you ever watch Police Activity YouTube channel or Donut Operator?
I've seen Donut, yeah.
All right, so they show like the body cam footage of these cops before these shootings.
Yeah.
Every time you see it's a dude with a knife or a gun running at a cop, pointing at a cop, pulling it on a cop.
Yep.
It's like, when are people going to learn when a cop is pulling you over to not try to kill the cop or not get violent, not reach for a gun?
Well, no, Shiz, I think our mental health care in this country is lacking. I think there's a lot of people out there that need help that aren't getting it.
I agree with you on that. Fully agree with you.
We really need to expand the mental health care that we give people, and
it is seriously lacking in this country, that's for sure. They say your brain is like a muscle. You need to exercise it. It's like going to the therapist is like going to the gym. They're trying to...
Yeah.
It's like that kind of, so take for it how you will. Excuse me, the Plookster. I just belched.
You on the White Claws already? You're on a big White Claw. Uh,
Yep, but I kicked the White Claws. I'm back on the Mother's Milk Coors Light. Coors Light. You'll see it in the video. Shout out Coors Light. I never forgot about you. I just cheated on you for a little bit, but I'm back to the old steady, the old ball and chain.
nice.
Hell
Isn't
yeah.
that the banquet of beers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. But that's the regular Coors banquet beer, banquet style beer. But this is Coors Light. It's
So,
like
so let me throw this at you. Do you know why they call it premium beer? My grandfather told me this
is
many
it
years ago.
premium hops that they use? I actually don't know.
No, no, absolutely not. Nothing to do like that at all. So, the first national beer to be sold nationwide was Budweiser.
Nice.
And what they had to do was it had to be transported in refrigerated boxcars.
That's the champagne of beers, right?
I think you're right.
Okay.
Um,
Box cards. All right, I'm with
so,
you. I'm with you.
and so if you chose to purchase Budweiser, you paid a premium because of the extra costs of the rail car, the refrigerated rail car, and the national advertising.
Oh.
It was a premium price. Has nothing to do with the quality of beer.
No, because it's just shitty
Premium
rice
beer, premium beer was due to the extra cost because of it going nationwide and not being local.
Well, that's like literally that's what premium means. There's a premium put on the price because of it could be a higher quality item to produce it, like an ingredient, or it could be like you said the shipping back in those days, the refrigerated box car, which they still have, but I'm sure it's not. It's crazy that they all right. Companies probably include marketing tax somewhat into the price, obviously, because they have to make money to
Sure.
do marketing. So that's like not totally unheard of. But that is
But I
an
think
interesting
most
point.
people, when they think premium beer, they think it's superior somehow, and it's not it at all.
Well, yeah, if they call it premium beer, they're like on the can. They're really clinging on to that old boxcar thing.
Yep.
Beer. Shout out to beer.
Hooray for beer.
Hooray for beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Do they make Mickey's White Mouth anymore? Have you ever seen those?
I know that they make Mickey's like 40-ounce malt liquors, but I don't know about Mickey's White Mouth.
Well, it was Wide Mouth. It was
Oh, wide mouth.
yeah. The opening on the bottle was about the size of a 50-cent piece.
Yeah, they do make that. They make that still. Yep.
Haven't seen it around. I just Googled and I do see it.
Yeah, you can get those. Just go to a gas station in the hood. You can find that next to the old English. Get that. Get you some blunt wraps. You'll be on your way.
It was good green beer for St. Patty's Day back in the day.
I guess I drank. I've drinking one of those, and I mean, I was a kid. I was like a teenager, but I got fucked up on it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I was drinking it, I do believe.
Yeah, malt liquor. That malt liquor stuff will fuck you up. I don't drink it anymore. I mean, maybe I do, but not out of 40s. I think if it's
Wow.
the malt liquor that I drink might be those. I don't know if they're malt liquor, but those like Steel Reserve
Yeah.
berry ones though, like the purple ones.
I've
So
not done that myself. So the other night I was trying something new. I had peanut butter whiskey.
yeah, someone was talking about that, Ladybird or somebody.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's good sipping stuff. I wouldn't be scarfing it.
No, no, no.
Not sure what to mix it with. Maybe some marshmallow vodka or something.
You just eat a graham cracker with it.
Right. Light a candle, you're good.
No, you set it on fire like one of those flaming Moe's shots.
Have you ever had absinthe? I can never say that word. Absinthe?
I think it's absinthe.
Absinthe. Okay. Yeah, where they pour it over sugar cubes and light it on fire.
Uh, I don't remember. Probably not. Maybe in Mexico or something. But I think if I've had absinthe, there's always shitty, cheap absinthe, not the good stuff.
I had it at a absinthe bar on Beale Street in Memphis,
Yeah, nothing like that.
and they make it quite the experience to order
So,
one of those drinks.
what
It's a
is
real
it like?
production.
Tell me about it.
It's just strange how they set up these strainers with a sugar cube and then drain the absinthe right through the sugar cube into the glass, and then once it's in the glass, they light the glass on fire and hand it to you.
Jesus. Yeah, I've had a flamin' something or other at some point, but dang, that's craziness. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy.
Hill Street's a fun place in Memphis. It's kind of like a 3 block Vegas because you can carry open containers and streets are blocked off, so you can stumble back and forth between different cantinas. BB King's was a great place to drink, and tons of live music playing all the time and all the little bars there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed Memphis.
Memphis. Well, it's like, yeah, that's like home of a shitload of music and artists and whatnot.
Oh yeah, it original um, black radio station was in Memphis.
Oh,
Um,
Hot. It was at Hot 98 something.
I can't remember. I mean, there's a plaque that commemorates it outside the building where it was, and there's Sun Studios there. Gibson makes guitars there.
Oh, hell
Of
yeah.
course, Graceland.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Out here,
but
the dude, uh, there's a dude named Les Paul who's from around
yeah,
by where I'm from. He's from Waukesha, and he's got. If you ever drive through Waukesha, they just have like big statues of guitars on every city corner.
really. So you mean the Les Paul?
Yeah, the Les Paul who invented a
Oh,
lot of like
oh, dude,
shit in the industry,
yeah, he
and is a
did.
great
Yeah, he
musician.
did.
Yeah.
He is a master. I mean, I really like the jazz blues type stuff that he does, and he's just tasty fine.
Yeah, so he was born in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and the whole city has fucking guitars and shit, murals, all guitar shit everywhere. It's kind of cool, but the city also sucks my ass, and I don't like driving in it. Let me tell you about this. One time a long time ago, I was in some college course, and it was a criminal, some civic justice class, some shit, I don't know, but the teacher was a former cop. And anyways, long story short, he was talking about patrolling Waukesha, and he said, and I don't know if this is true, but sounds like it probably is true. The the roads are all made on these cow paths because there used to be all these farmers, and the cows would take a certain path to the water and then back to the fucking farm. And then they just paved over these cow paths and made these roads. And then there's like in the middle of the city, it's called the Five Corners because it's just five one-way streets that all connect with each other. It's fucked up.
Nice. That's good city planning right there.
And after they built the original city on the cow paths, then the civic designers decided to build a grid system right on top of that. So you have all this fucked upness going on in that city.
Wow.
Terrible.
They finally realized that they could hire people that do planning like that.
I don't know. I guess as they were expanding from being farm to being like a city, they originally did those shitty cow paths, and then eventually they're like, all right, let's do some infrastructure. And then they probably did a major like grid system on top of just on top of it.
Sounds like they need to burn it down and start it all over again.
Yeah, just like they saying in Portland. Burn it down. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Burn it down.
Yeah, I don't know what the affinity with fire is for Antifa, but you just can't get away from it.
I don't know. They call themselves. They have a little group of them that they call themselves fire mages. There's those medics, fire mages, people with the signs, the people with the umbrellas. They all have their little roles. But those ones have the mollies, and they also have the fire extinguishers. But you don't see fucking people with fire extinguishers in Antifa.
Oh, I was telling you. Did you see one time?
Only time
Jake
Antifa will
is.
pick up only time Antifa will pick up a fire extinguisher is to use it as a blunt weapon against a cop or a patriot. But yes, I know who Jake is.
So one time he rolled up on a fire that was in the street, and I can't remember exactly what he did, but I got a hold of him and I said, Jake, you need to buy yourself a fire extinguisher, and when you roll up on a fire, just go put it out. That'll piss him off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he did or he didn't, but
damn, you saw Jake, huh?
he lives in the same county as I do, and I imagine at some point we'll get to meet. But I've just conversed with him, on Twitch and D Live and.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, D Live, Twitch, a.
Good platforms, I mean, I really didn't know about them. I mean, maybe I knew they were there, but I never investigated them before. I started watching all this stuff last year.
How did you find Twitch?
Definitely through Joey. What I was doing initially was I'd go to YouTube and then I'd go to the live streams and I'd try to find somebody that was streaming protests live.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if it was PT News. I think I might have found first. Yes. And then shortly after I found Joey, and then Joey said, go to Discord and come to Twitch. And I did.
Smart man. Joey's real smart.
Yeah, he jumped on it at the right time. He's got the focus that everybody enjoys.
Yes.
And doing a great job.
He's got a good viewpoint on a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, and he, people may not know it, but he doesn't walk lockstep with everything, that others in the channel believe. He has his own beliefs.
Yeah, I totally get
that. And I support it. So, hey, want to hear a little story about a vice president?
Oh, yeah, okay. So let's get into it. What's this guy's name?
So Walter Mondale was Jimmy Carter's vice president when I was in high school. And I was taking photography class, and one of the last assignments that I hadn't done yet, I was trying to figure out a good subject and what to do. I needed to do portraits. Then I heard Walter Mondale was coming to our town. So I thought, oh man, what a great subject for portraits than the Vice President of the United States. So
yep.
me and a buddy went down to the hotel where he was making his appearance. And the hotel and restaurant, everything was locked up. You could not get in. So we were out with the crowd outside, and they said Mondale will be coming out here to the stage to give a speech when he's done with the fundraiser inside. And so I'm taking pictures of like the sniper with the rifle on top of the interstate bridge, the guys with the machine guns on the roof of the hotel, the helicopter that was circling with the door open with the guy with a big gun sticking out of the helicopter. And my friend said, hey, they're noticing you taking pictures of the security.
Oh
Like,
shit.
so what? And anyways, we were by a side door of the restaurant, and a cook opened the door.
Okay.
And I think he was like dumping ice out or something. And I lied. I said, "Hey, I'm with the high school newspaper. Can I get in?" And he's like, "Yeah, come on. Here, right down here's the press room." And so
Oh.
he shows us into the press room, and it's in the back of this big meeting hall, and we see Mondale basically standing up and walking out of the fundraiser that they had just had. They had had like a lunch or a breakfast or whatever for him. And so we ran around to the hotel side, and we noticed there's this line of people. So we just got in line of people, and we're standing there, and all of a sudden the big doors burst open, and here comes Walter Mondale with his security attachment, and he walks down to the opposite end of this line we're on and starts going down the line shaking people's hands.
All right. Oh wow, wow, wow. That's crazy,
And
dude.
he comes all the way down, and we were the last two in line, and he shakes me and my friend's hand, and boom, off he goes outside. And we kind of repositioned ourselves, and we're standing looking at each other, and I said, "Hey, don't look behind you right now, but I see 6 guys all staring at us, talking into their hands. They have these microphones that come down their sleeve."
Okay, okay.
And he goes, "Dude, there's at least 6 or 7 behind you doing the same thing." And within a few minutes, we were pulled apart. There was like 6 Secret Service agents and 1 uniformed Vancouver police officer. And they're like, "Who are you? Give me your ID. How the hell did you get in here?" And we
Wow.
told him, well, the cook let us in. And he's like, "Bullshit. They are told not to let anybody in. You're lying to us." I'm like, no, really, really. "Well, how did you get in?" "Well, we just got in line, and he came and shook our hands. We didn't know we weren't supposed to do that." And they're like, "Well, you need to leave now." And I'm like, "Oh, no, please. I need to get these portraits for my class." And they're like, "Listen, if you get that close to the vice president again, you're going to be arrested." Like, okay, fine. I just need to take these pictures. Fine, okay? And they're like, "Right ahead." So we go outside and stay back from the stage so we don't get too close. And all of a sudden, this Secret Service agent that must have been 6'5", 6'7", comes up and puts his belly right on our elbows.
Puts his what on your elbow?
His belly.
Oh,
He
okay.
gets that close, and he's just staring straight down at us. And he stood there in that position the whole time until the fucking thing was over.
Dang.
And then we left. So I'm sure for several years, every time a president came to Portland and they ran names for crazies, his and my name probably came up on the crazies list that they wanted to be aware of. But, we had no ill intent. We really just wanted those pictures. Yeah, I lied to get into that hotel, and I now have a crazy funny story to tell.
And you got to shake the vice president's hand, so that's cool.
Did, absolutely did.
I mean, not a lot of people can say that.
No, they don't let you that close apparently, unless these other people that were in line were all donors or government officials that he was shaking their hand. He didn't know that. We were just 2 dumb high school kids.
That's so fucking funny. Just look, yeah, you're sitting there with your camera, regular clothes on, in a line in the fancy hotel with probably like people with nice
Oh
suits.
yeah, oh yeah, they were all in ties and sport coats and yep.
Sticking out like a
But
sore thumb. 2 young kids. It's like, who the hell? How did they get in here?
We broke Service security line, and they were pissed. I understand why they were pissed. Sorry, but wasn't as secure as apparently.
However, you sweet talked the
Thought.
cook to let you in. That must have been
That,
that. You must have just said everything right.
that was the key, because he could have just said no and pulled that door closed and we were locked back out. But he actually let us in and then showed us down to the press room. Here you go.
That's so funny.
Don't know what happened to him.
Maybe he just wanted to. Maybe he's just an agent of chaos. He just wanted
I don't
to.
know if we had ill intent. Um,
Maybe,
something could have happened.
maybe he just didn't think it through.
Yeah, I'm sure, or I'm pretty sure Secret Service figured out who it was that did that. We didn't have a good description or a name or anything, but
They probably.
apparently my story and my buddy's story both checked out independently because they weren't questioning us together.
Yeah, I actually have a news article right here. It says that they deported the whole staff after that. Just kidding.
Could be. So, my hat's off to Walter Mondale and the service he gave this country. And
Yeah. So he, if anyone who happens to be listening to this doesn't know, Walter Mondale just died. Let's read this article. 93 years old. Former vice president under Jimmy Carter. 93, so it's pretty fucking old. Alright. He served as president under then President Jimmy Carter before waging his own unsuccessful White House bid in 84. Has died. He was 93.
Yep, he lost to Reagan.
Okay. Oh, makes sense. Here's what they said. It is with profound sadness that we share news that our beloved dad passed away today in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh God. Does anything ever good happen in Minneapolis?
No.
Jesus. As proud as we were of him, leading the presidential ticket for the Democrats in 1984, we know that our father's public policy legacy is so much more than that. Alright, excellent. So, he lived till 93, he died. He was talking about Joe Biden, but that's because he's a Democrat, makes sense. All this checks out. Alright, rest in peace, man. What do they have? Do they have big funerals for vice presidents?
No, I'm not sure.
Or is it going to be like a Zoom funeral?
Maybe nowadays. I don't know. They put on a pretty big show for one op that died that they were trying to tell us died in the hands of protesters. Which in the last few days, you did see that the doctor came out and said, "Oh no, he died of a stroke."
Yeah, and then no one's talking about it. So everyone wants to say these violent protesters killed or cop killers. You know, they said they're on the cop's side, but then they killed the cops.
And turns out he died of natural causes, but they put his urn under the Capitol dome. So better do the same for Mondale, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about, or do you want to save it for next time maybe? Talk a little bit about all of the, like the crazy amount of shootings, police-involved shootings that have been cropping up lately? Or do you want to have that as like a little preview of next time?
I think we should preview because that's going to be a long subject, I think.
I think so too. There's a lot of them that happen.
Or we're hearing about a lot more of them lately.
Exactly. Well, at least we're hearing about them, as in all the footage is being released. Well, that is conspicuous that some of them took place a while ago, and all the footage of them are being released at the same exact time during this verdict.
Yeah, it seems certainly seems that way.
That is suspicious.
And now you're hearing about I mean, we've had shootings every day in the United States for a long time, but we didn't hear about every little thing in every little town, and it seems like now that's all the news is putting out is every kind of shooting they can. I think it's trying to build up for a gun grab coming up here, but
Well, Biden's already talking about his gun control policy and what he wants to do, and he's saying didn't he sign? I think he already signed one thing.
he did. And do you know any of the details of that?
No, I'm gonna research that.
So so one of the things, and I'll just throw this out here, one of the things that he banned in there was this brace that goes on a competitive shooting pistol that then attaches to the shooter's arm
Hmm.
to hold it steady, and they're only used in shooting competitions. This is not something that you would use in defense or in the field, or it's strictly just for shooting at targets. He banned that particular device. So
So he
what the
wants
fuck are
to
you doing?
what he
What are
wants
you
to
doing?
he wants to clamp down on competition target shooting.
What? Yeah, that's the only thing these braces are for. Why did
Well,
you ban that? What the hell? Um,
maybe he has to do something to appease all of the Democrats that voted for him and ban something gun related, so that he can be like, "Look, I'm doing stuff. I'm doing stuff."
yeah, well, it's targeting the wrong people. The target shooters are not out there shooting unarmed civilians.
Well, the people who are getting guns into the hands of criminals, that's what should be targeted.
Yeah, yeah, I can go into that quite a bit. I've got um,
Me too. So we're gonna save that for next time. Plookster, it's been another real one, man. We did like an hour this time, so
holy crap.
we're gonna figure out, like, this thing will
Uh,
come together. We'll figure it out. It'll be great.
well, I hope we didn't bore your peeps and put them to sleep.
No, you're interesting to listen to. Trust me.
Thank you. Enjoy conversing with you, and it's fun to have a format that isn't structured, that we can just let it flow. And
Exactly. Long form, no exact structure. Just a couple small topics that we could bring up whenever we want.
cool.
Excellent. All right, man. Take it easy.
2.